Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are talking about UV mapping, and UV mapping is a way of cutting up your 3D model and flattening and put a 2D texture on it. So without this, you won't be able to texture your characters well or your model well. So UV is essential in the workflow of creating a 3D character or an object, a prop, or architecture, whatever you want to do in 3D, you need to know UV. So I'm going to use this add-on called Zen UV, and it's an amazing add-on. I don't think I'll be using Blender if Blender doesn't have this add-on, because Blender UV sucks, and I'm sorry to say it's not that great. I've used Maya's UV, and Maya is very good, but this add-on beats Maya's. It's like the guy who created this add-on went to check the other 3D programs and see what's missing, and he just added it here. It's an amazing add-on. It's price is what the price. I can't remember how much I bought it, but it's worth the price. So if you get the add-on, this is what you're gonna see. And I'm just going to start talking about the add-on because it's amazing. So the add-on has this sticker thing. If you go to your settings and you don't have it, you can, I think it's somewhere here. I think if you go to display, sticky UV, yeah, this sticky UV thing. So if I click it opens my UV editor, and that's amazing. So I'm just going to show you how cool this add-on is. So first of all, we are going to just UV, just do a simple UV here. Just mark this as same, like this, and mark this the same. And now we are going to wrap it. The thing about UV is, if you don't know how to UV is about think of everything you are creating as a shape. A cylinder, a square. Oh yeah, just cylinders and square. If you can think about things like that, it will work. Think of them as a flat object. Okay, how can I flatten this object? Like now, this is a sphere. In my mind, I'm thinking about how can I open it up. So I just need to cut off this top here, cut off this top here, so that I can divide it and open it. So, and you're going to see that when I press, if you go to this U button here, you see different ways to unwrap, and you unwrap, and you can see it unwraps the object. And it has so many things that I don't go into. I like doing this way, and I just show you my workflow and my method. And this is not just about normal UV. We're going to UV a full character. That's why we have a character here. And I'm going to teach you like the industry way to actually UV and not waste the UV space. So if you stay true to the end, you will learn something. So anyways, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you come down to Zen UV on the UV editor. Yeah, so now I'm just going to show you what I use. After I do my basic UV like this, I go down to this part, which it has a word orient, random, quadrify. I only use this relax and quadrifiers. This too, it's amazing. So what I do is I make sure I'm on face mode, and I just select everything, and I'll probably just relax it. But you know, like, this is nice and all, like this, I could work with this, but sometimes I want something really straight. And if I click on this quadrify island, bam, it does this. And this is amazing. This is priceless. I can't believe Blender doesn't have this. They come up with so many updates, and this is a basic thing to have. I don't get it. So that's that. So let's UV this character. So anyways, you just delete this. The next thing we're gonna do is the fastest way I know how to UV a full character, like a nude character like this, is just this. Is divide this character into half, because it's a symmetrical character. Yeah, it's you don't need to UV both sides. Just UV one side, duplicate the character, mirror the character, and you're fine. And I'm going to show you a technique where you have to always do this, to slap it on top so that you save more space, so that you can maximize this island, because this is what you have. Yeah, this is already UV, so this is what you have, and you want to maximize this space, especially if you're working with games and you don't have time to do UDIMs. And what is UDIMs? We don't want to go into that. And that's another kind of worms, like they say. And yeah, so let's do that. Yeah. So how do I UV? So let's do this. I'm going to just cut this here, and I'll mark that seam, and I'm just going to do this. And I've divided this character into two, and well, we're halfway there. So I'm just going here, and so instead I'll cut it from here. Yeah. Okay. And don't you see? Just I'm just going to on that off. Okay. And then we're just going to get to this aspect here. And here it is. Because I want to cut off this this region here. Okay. I want to cut off this region here. So because I don't care about this place. Yeah, so, but before I do that, I'm just going to mark this seam. And I want to be able to cut off. Yes, I want to be able to do this. I'll mark this as seam. It all depends on how you retopologize your character too. So the way you retopologize your character is going to help in this. Okay, if I had done this way, it would be better, but I think this is fine. Well, the same. So I'm just going to select this region here. Yeah. I'm just going to put it here. I'm just going to say markers here. Send this. Oops. Select this. Class here. Let me just get it in this aspect here. Yes. Then yeah. And you will see why I'm cutting this like this in a sec. Well, you know, for the sake of neatness, this will wrap like this. Like same. You can see I'm just focusing on one aspect, which to me is the easiest way to work with this stuff. So it's just come here. Just come here, not the stair. Okay, now we're thinking about how we're going to open this character. I've divided the foot, so we know we have one side here, so we have to cut it. So best way I can think about it is just cutting it up here. Well, better yet, cutting it here. Why am I selecting things this way? Well, let's do it like this. This is perfect. Like a stammer. A little bit dirty there. It's just because of the way it's retopologized. Okay. one thing I could do is placing and I'll divide it here, like I said. So that way it opens up from here. So it's going to be like a wing kind of. So yeah, that's pretty much that for the leg. We're done with that. That was a bit hectic. So now I'm going to divide this leg. So I'm going to do this, come here. Just come here. And make a sim. So that's not too bad. Make a sim. Okay. So this is not bad. Now let's go down here. So now we're going to trace this down. I want to make sure everything cuts off to this region here. So we are going to deviate this from here to here, just close him. And I'm just going to start from here and mark a seam. Let me look. The way this is retopologize, I can just double click and just let it all wrap around. So I just have to do it this way. Just try and follow this thing. Well, just bring it here. We could just like maybe just take this way up here, but I don't like doing that. You could just divide the hands into two and just have one hand here, one hand here. I don't like doing that. I'll just stop this here, you know. Like I said, well, you have to think ahead of. It's like a chess game, just like with topology. It's like a chess game. You just to like try to figure out how you want to unwrap this. So we are almost done. So I'm just going to cut from here down to this aspect, just like a seam. So for the shoulders, I'm just going to here. Yeah, like so, and I think we're pretty much done. We are done with this character, guys. This is the UV. After this, 13 minutes. Still a bit slow. After this, you're good to go. You can actually unwrap. I'm kidding. So what I usually do is like I mirror this. So you could just like use a modifier or use whatever add-on you have. I have this add-on called, I think, meshing tools or add-ons give me this stuff. I can't remember, but all I know is that if I press this, it works. So I think it's from add-ons. I don't know. So if I just do this, so it mirrors the UV to this other aspect, and I'm using symmetry, so it mirrors and applies the mirror, if that makes sense. So that's a really handy thing. I don't do this all good this way. It's crazy. Anyways, I think there's a mirror. I think so. I'm so used to using add-ons. Like I don't know how to do things the normal way. I think you could do that. I think you could. Yeah. Mirror. You can mirror it and just I'm sorry guys, I can't help you there. So yeah. Now let's go to this and let's then unwrap. Now we have everything unwrapped, but if we should look at this, if we look at this, we have you can see some mistake. This is the mouth bag, so let's just fix that. Let's just that real quick. Then we can select this map. And that's pretty much it. So if we choose unwrap, make sure you are not selecting any edge when you're unwrapping, because if you do that, if you do this, it's gonna do this. So don't do that. So just make sure nothing's selected. It's gonna do what you want. So now we have divided this character. So this is the way I love to do UVs. Let me look at the years. It's pretty much, it's okay. It's okay. I'll fix that. So this is how I love to do my UVs. This is not complicated at all. So what I now do now is to check for mistakes and places I need to smooth. Like you can see this gel. If you should texture with this, it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So we need to fix all this stuff. So how do we do that? You can use the relax tool and that will take a lot of work. So what I like to do is use this Addon also, which has this relax tool. So what I do is I click the face mode, and select everything and just hit relax and give it some time to do its magic. It's going to relax every island, and that is amazing. And if we go back, you see all the parts that were joined together. It's fine. Everything is looking good, but we still have to cross check. Like I'm sure the years are kind of weird, so I have to just look at something. So I can use the relax tool and just layer in this. Oops. And just check out this aspect too. This always comes up. Just smoothing the nose. Yes. Do this. Just do this. Usually, you should cut this, but I think this is fine. Usually I'll cut off this to have this so that it's spread evenly, but this is fine. This is fine. So just make sure you do it for both parts, or better yet, you can just find out which part of the face this is. Okay, I want to mirror from here down here, but since I started working on this aspect, let's just mirror from this close to this. So let's see. Okay, the years. Look at what I'm working on. Sorry guys. I'm supposed to make a bigger screen. Just check, just make things even. Then we'll come here, just check. The hands look fine. The mouth bag, we don't really care about that. Here looks fine, here looks fine, here looks fine, here looks fine. Everywhere looks beautiful. So now what do we have to do next? For the industry standard, the idea is you want to slap things on top of each other, because when you're texturing, most of the time, especially a humanoid character, if you're just going to use this body or maybe a cloth that looks similar, the right side looks similar to the left hand side, doesn't make sense to texture this and this. You could just texture one side and same thing is going to happen on this other side. So for a character like this, the left hand is similar, except you have like a tattoo on one hand, then you have a problem. Or the face, maybe you want to add some variations like freckles, you have a problem. So most of the time, if it's just a generic face character, you want to just work on one aspect of the face so that you can save islands, especially for games. You don't want to waste islands because you're going to add clothes and add all these things. So you have to find a way to mirror things together. So now that we've done all this and everything looks fine, what we have to do now before we start packing is mirror this. So because we worked on this side of the face, so we just symmetrize this side. So now all our setting is working because it just replace this in this. Now you can see we have few islands, which is what we want. So now we can actually maximize the space. Now you see this head, you most of the time want the head to be bigger. So I can just put the head here. It's big for me, you know. And for the back, I don't really give a shit about the back that much, so I just give it small. Let's make it so that we know what we're selecting. So the back, who looks at the back? Any place that it's not going to get too much visual attention, you shouldn't care much about. You should reduce that so that you can give more space for places that have more visual attention, if that makes sense. Meaning, if the face is, we are looking at the face, but if you're not going to see the chest, why are you giving it more space? It doesn't make sense, you know. So if it's going to be covered with cloth or it's going to wear a jersey, you don't really care about that. So we'll take the chest too. So that's why when you're cutting, you make sure you cut in a way that, okay, this aspect, the neck region. So sometimes what I do is that I know my characters and I would maybe start cutting the scene from here, you know, that way. I hope that makes sense. So that way, this head is going to start from here. And from chest down, I know it's going to cover with a jersey or a shirt or anything. So I don't really give a shit about that, especially for animation. For games, you would probably just delete the aspect. But for animation, maybe the person is going to be changing clothes and, you know, all the costumes are going to be like round necks or shirt. Sep is going to wear like a girl that's going to wear a bra. You don't really care. So you have to think about these things when you are UVing your character. I hope that makes sense. So this is the leg, I think. So UV that, make sure you're on face mode. I think the leg is big enough. It's big. I even think it's too big. So you can just bring this down a bit. And the chest. Also, I don't really care about the chest that much. So I'm just gonna make it a bit much. So the arms. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, if everything is awkward, you could just qualify it. But yeah, this is the thing about qualify. Everything is not awkward. They are not awkward because there are some triangles here. So the algorithm doesn't know what to do. So it's just trying to make sure everything is quads. And this is a good troubleshooting you should do. You should never do this. Except your stuff that are really quads, like a cylinder with quads. That's when you can straighten things perfectly. So this is fine because it's kind of tilted like this. You want to maybe arrange that, but this is fine actually. There's nothing wrong with this. Except you're doing like strands of stuff. I don't think I'm doing that. So for the arms, I'm just gonna. Who's gonna make this big enough for this region? Let this maybe slightly bigger. Okay, so this is okay. That's it, baby. That is it. Yep. Now for this aspect, let's see. Under the foot, I don't care about this. Nobody's gonna see this except the person is going to be doing a kick. I'm just going to take this down and just let me put it here. So for the mouth bag, I don't really care about that. It's just painting black. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be a texture, maybe just a red texture, black texture. This has no significant value. It's just for light. For the hands though, they do have this. They're going to be picking things and you want them to be as big as possible. Now you can see with the 4K texture you can add so much resolution. So people have to use UDIMs, and if you understand this workflow, you would really take advantage of the UVs. So for the legs, I'm just gonna make it big like this. I'll put it here. You see, I have some space, but I don't know. I don't see how we can make this bigger. I think this is fine. And if you add some other objects, like maybe a prop, and you want it together with the body, this way you start utilizing this. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's see if our UV is awesome. So first, how do we test it? We need like a checker. I like to use one checker where I go from Google. If you just type textures checker, you should get it in Google. I have it on my desktop here. Let me see. Yep. So I'm going to shader editor. Yeah. I'm just going to delete this color attributes. That's from ZBrush. And this. And I'm just going to drag this down here. Color to base color. Now, if we come here, get this. Okay, it got me. It looks nice, but we need to tile this so that we can see what's actually happening. So, how do we do that? It's been a while I did this. So, if we check texture coordinates, put this here, and we use mapping, I guess. I think this should come default with every shader. I don't know what this is. We take this vector, we'll put this vector, yep. I think that works. Then we'll go to the scale, then we'll put like 5, and put like 5, and put like 5. We'll put like 5, bro. So now you see how sexy this is. Do you see how sexy this UV is? It's really sexy. Wow, like it's perfect, bro. Like, damn. See, everything is all quads, nothing is tiled deep wetly, everything just works. Everything just works. Yeah? Yeah? You see here it's bigger because we don't want much texture. It's just sweet. So when you texture, everything just works. You know what I mean? Works. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys learned something on this one. Peace to the next one.